Warrant card.
Warrant card.
Warrant officer.
Warrant officer.
Warranty.
Warranty.
The car is still under warranty.
A 3-year warranty.
Warren.
Warren.
A warren of tiny streets.
Warring.
Warring.
Warrior.
Warrior.
A noble warrior.
Warship.
Worship.
Wart.
Wart.
Well, you married him, warts and all.
Warty skin.
Warthog.
Warthog.
Wartime.
Wartime.
Even in wartime, some people held concerts.
The hardships of wartime Britain.
His wartime experiences.
War-torn.
War-torn.
War widow.
War widow.
Wary.
Wary.
I'm a bit wary of driving in this fog.
We must teach children to be wary of strangers.
Keep a wary eye on the weather before you set sail.
She had a wary expression on her face.
A wariness in her voice. She eyed him warily.
War zone.
War zone.
Was.
Was.
Wasabi.
Wasabi.
The wash.
Wash.
This shirt needs washing.
It's your turn to wash the dishes.
Amy washed and went to bed. She had a hot bath and washed her hair.
I'm just going to wash my hands.
When a cat has finished eating, it often washes itself.
The waves washed against the shore.
The sea washed over her.
The young man was washed overboard in the storm.
The body was washed ashore.
I'm sorry, but all his charm just doesn't wash with me.
I've washed my hands of the whole affair. Silk doesn't wash well.
Floods in Bangladesh have washed hundreds of homes away.
My anxiety was washed away.
Can you wash down the driveway? Steak and chips washed down with red wine.
Will this paint wash off?
I'll just wash out this vase for flowers.
A dye that won't wash out.
The summer fair was washed out by the English weather.
A feeling of relief washed over her.
She was content to let the conversation wash over her.
Go wash up before dinner.
His body was washed up on the beach the next morning.
Those jeans need a good wash.
I'll just have a quick wash before we go out.
You'd better put that shirt in the wash.
Do you need me to put another wash on? Do you need me to put another wash on? An antibacterial facial wash.
The wash of a large motorboat.
Washable.
Washable.
Washable cushion covers. The gloves are machine washable.
Wash basin.
Wash basin.
Washboard.
Washboard.
Washcloth.
Washcloth.
Wash day.
Wash day.
Washed out.
Washed out.
A washed out shade of blue.
Debbie's looking a bit washed out.
Washed up.
Washed up.
A washed-up movie star.
Washer.
Washer.
Washer dryer.
Washer dryer.
Washerwoman.
Washerwoman.
Washing.
Washing.
I really must do the washing.
Could you put the washing out for me?
Washing day.
Washing day.
Washing line.
Washing line.
Washing machine.
Washing machine.
Washing powder.
Washing powder.
Washing soda.
Washing soda.
Washing up.
Washing up.
It's your turn to do the washing up, Sam. A pile of washing up.
Washing up liquid.
Washing up liquid.
Wash out.
Wash out.
The picnic was a total washout. Nobody turned up.
Wash rag.
Wash rag.
Washroom.
Washroom.
Washstand.
Washstand.
Wash tub.
Wash tub.
Wasn't.
Wasn't.
Jason wasn't at the party.
Wasp.
Wasp.
Waspish.
Waspish.
Waspish remarks.
Wassail.
Wassail.
What's up?
What's up?
Worst.
Wust.
Wastage.
Wastage.
The system used to result in a great deal of food wastage.
Wastage of ability among working-class children.
Waste.
Waste.
Being unemployed is such a waste of your talents. Many believe that state aid is a waste of taxpayers' money.
What a waste of all that good work.
Excessive waste in state spending.
Don't let all this food go to waste.
We should never have gone. It was a total waste of time.
The emphasis now is on recycling waste.
The icy wastes of Antarctica.
Leaving the heating on all the time wastes electricity.
Don't waste your money on that junk.
Hannah is wasted in that clerical job.
His talents were being wasted as a lawyer.
Her good advice was wasted on the children.
Don't try to reason with Paul. You're wasting your breath.
He wasted no time in introducing himself.
Wastebasket.
Wastebasket.
Wasted.
Wasted.
I'm sorry you've had a wasted trip. Mr. Newton isn't here.
Her thin, wasted body.
Waste disposal.
Waste disposal.
The problem of radioactive waste disposal.
Wasteful.
Wasteful.
A wasteful use of resources.
The software is very wasteful of memory.
Lily had wastefully left her light on.
Waste ground.
Waste ground.
A piece of waste ground.
Wasteland.
Wasteland.
The restoration of industrial wasteland.
The 70s were a cultural wasteland.
Waste paper.
Waste paper.
Waste paper basket.
Waste paper basket.
Waste product.
Waste product.
Nuclear waste products.
Waster.
Waster.
All her friends are drunks or wasters.
Wasting.
Wasting.
The airline is a wasting asset.
Wastrel.
Wastrel.
Watch.
Watch.
Do you mind if I watch?
We sat and watched the sunset.
He watched helplessly as Paula fell into the icy water.
Watch carefully. You may learn something. Harriet watched him with interest.
I watched him go, then went home. Ruth could not bear to watch her parents arguing. I watched to see how he'd react.
The debate was watched by 97 million viewers. Most parents don't know what their kids are watching on TV.
It's useful to watch how other pilots handle the glider.
Watch he doesn't run into the road.
She's a student and has to watch her budget closely.
Watch your head on the shelf.
Silly old fool. Why doesn't he watch where he's going?
Watch what you're doing. It's spilling everywhere.
Watch yourself in Madrid. There are some rough areas.
Employees should watch what they say in personal emails. He may be a former athlete, but he still has to watch his weight.
American companies are watching Japanese developments closely.
The government will watch the progress of these schemes with interest.
She watches the kids for us occasionally.
I feel like I'm being watched.
He soon saw he'd have to watch his step with some of these guys.
Anxious mums watching the clock.
Watch it. There's a car.
In the tournament so far, Italy's Stefania Croce looks like the one to watch.
Lingering in a pavement cafe watching the world go by.
He'll win this time. You watch.
She stepped outside to watch for the cab.
What problem should I watch out for when buying an old house?
You'll become an alcoholic if you don't watch out.
There must have been an angel watching over me that day.
My watch has stopped. She glanced nervously at her watch.
How do you keep track of time if you don't wear a watch?
The police arrived to keep watch on the mouth of the tunnel.
He maintained a 24-hour watch over his son.
Security forces kept a close watch on our activities.
Be on the watch for anything suspicious.
We were arrested and held until the arrival of the night watch.
The first watch is from now until midnight.
Who's on watch tonight?
Watchable.
Watchable.
A highly watchable film.
Watch band.
Watch band.
Watchdog.
Watchdog.
A consumer watchdog.
Watcher.
Watcher.
15,000 bird watchers visit annually.
Industry watchers hailed the takeover as a triumph. Watchful.
Watchful.
The entrances are guarded by watchful security staff.
His eyes were watchful.
Keep a watchful eye on elderly residents.
Learn the basics under the watchful eye of a qualified instructor.
Watching brief.
Watching brief.
One of his responsibilities is to keep a watching brief on foreign broadcasts.
Watchkeeper.
Watchkeeper.
Watch list.
Watch list.
Watchmaker.
Watchmaker.
Watchman.
Watchman.
Watchstrap.
Watchstrap.
Watchtower.
Watchtower.
Watchword.
Watchword.
Environmental quality will be the watchword for the 21st century.
Water.
Water.
There's water all over the bathroom floor.
Does anyone want a drink of water?
A glass of sparkling mineral water.
All rooms have hot and cold running water.
Pour boiling water over the rice and let it soak.
A fresh water spring.
When dealing with a burst pipe, always turn off the water first. Contamination of the local water supply.
Rangoon is surrounded on 3 sides by water.
Denzel dived into the water.
He stepped down to the water's edge.
The temple can only be reached by water.
Something floating on the water.
The coastal waters of Alaska.
The ship drifted into Turkish territorial waters.
A species found in inland waters.
The uncharted waters of the 21st century.
Some of the companies were spending money like water.
Will you water my houseplants while I'm away?
The garden needs watering daily.
Chopping onions makes my eyes water. Have the horses been fed and watered?
Columbia is watered by several rivers.
The report of the investigation had been watered down.
Waterbed.
Waterbed.
Waterbird.
Waterbird.
Water biscuit.
Water biscuit.
Waterboarding.
Waterboarding.
Waterborne.
Waterborne.
Waterborne diseases such as cholera.
Waterborne traffic.
Water bottle.
Water bottle.
Waterboy.
Waterboy.
Water buffalo.
Water buffalo.
Waterbug.
Waterbug.
Waterbutt.
Waterbutt.
Water cannon.
Water cannon.
Water chestnut.
Water chestnut.
Water closet.
Water closet.
Watercolor.
Watercolor.
Margaret began experimenting with watercolor.
A watercolour of the castle.
Watercolor.
Water cooler.
Water cooler.
Watercourse.
Watercourse.
Chemicals that pollute the local watercourse.
Watercress.
Watercress.
A bunch of watercress.
Watered down.
Watered down.
A watered-down version of the original.
Watered silk.
Watered silk.
Waterfall.
Waterfall.
Waterfall cardigan. Waterfall cardigan.
Water feature.
Water feature.
Water footprint. Water footprint.
Water fountain.
Water fountain.
Waterfowl.
Waterfowl.
The varied waterfowl of North America.
Waterfront.
Waterfront.
The hotel is down on the waterfront.
Waterhole.
Waterhole.
Water ice.
Water ice.
Watering can.
Watering can.
Watering hole.
Watering hole.
What's your favorite watering hole?
Watering place.
Watering place.
Water jump.
Water jump.
Her horse fell at the water jump. Waterless.
Waterless.
A barren, waterless desert.
Water lily.
Water lily.
Waterline.
Waterline.
2 torpedoes struck below the waterline. As the waterline advanced, the vegetation was swamped.
Waterlogged.
Waterlogged.
Heavy rain meant the pitch was waterlogged.
The race was cancelled due to waterlogging.
Water main.
Water main.
A burst water main.
Watermark.
Watermark.
The sheet bears the watermark 1836.
The card has a digital watermark, detectable only by electronic cash dispensers.
Reagan's presidency may prove to have been the high watermark of the U.S.-Israeli alliance.
Watermeadow.
Watermeadow.
Watermelon.
Watermelon.
Watermeter.
Watermeter.
Watermill.
Watermill.
Waterpark.
Waterpark.
Waterpipe.
Waterpipe.
Water pistol.
Water pistol.
Water polo.
Water polo.
Water power.
Water power.
Waterproof.
Waterproof.
A waterproof jacket.
Waterproof adhesive.
Rub the wax in to make the shoe waterproof.
Plastic sheeting was used to waterproof the shed.
A waterproofed sack.
Water rat.
Water rat.
Water repellent.
Water repellent.
Water resistant.
Water resistant.
Is this watch water resistant?
Watershed.
Watershed.
The 1932 election represented a watershed in American politics.
A watershed case on pension rights.
Waterside.
Waterside.
A waterside restaurant.
Water skiing.
Water skiing.
Tracy was a keen swimmer and water skier.
Waterslide.
Waterslide.
Water softener.
Water softener.
Water soluble.
Water soluble.
Water sports.
Water sports.
Waterspout.
Water spout.
Water stress. Water stress.
Water table.
Water table.
Watertight.
Watertight.
Lucky for him, his alibi is watertight. Unless the ban is watertight, EU laws will overturn it.
Water tower.
Water tower.
Water vapor.
Water vapor.
Water vole.
Water vole.
Waterway.
Waterway.
Inland waterways.
Water wheel.
Water wheel.
Water wings.
Water wings.
Waterworks.
Waterworks.
Don't turn on the waterworks, he sighed. Watery.
Watery.
Her eyes were red and watery from crying.
Snakes lay eggs in a watery environment.
A watery sun.
She gave him a watery smile. A bowl of watery stew.
Watford.
Watford.
I don't know where that town is. It's north of Watford somewhere. Watt.
Watt.
A 100-watt bulb.
Wattage.
Wattage.
Wattle.
Wattle.
A wattle fence.
Walls made of wattle and daub.
Wave.
Wav.
Wav.
Wave.
Wave.
Dee watched the waves breaking on the shore.
The ship tipped over and finally vanished beneath the waves. There was a wave of public protest.
A new wave of immigrants.
They faced wave after wave of fresh troops.
He dismissed her with a wave of the hand.
The pain swept over him in waves.
Wave after wave of aircraft passed overhead.
With so many jobs already cut, he didn't want to make waves.
New wave music.
The new wave of black feminist theorists.
She turned to wave to the approaching soldiers.
Enid waved at us, and we waved back.
The nurses came out to wave Grandad goodbye.
The starter waved a green flag to indicate that the race would begin.
A tree waving in the breeze.
He waved a hand in the air to attract her attention.
Trudy waved a $50 bill under his nose.
The stranger spoke rapidly, waving his arms around. The border guards waved us through.
Peter waved them back to their seats.
If you're not careful, you can wave goodbye to any pay rise this year.
I can't wave a magic wand and change what happened. He waved her protests aside.
People in passing cars tried waving him down.
Are you coming to the station to wave me off?
Wave and pay. Wave and pay.
Waveband.
Waveband.
Wavelength.
Wavelength.
Dad is just on a different wavelength from me.
Waver.
Waver.
Her voice wavered uncertainly.
The student's attention did not waver.
Harris never wavered in his loyalty.
We were determined not to waver from our goals.
Shareholders who were wavering met the directors.
The party wavered between free trade and protectionism.
The candle flame wavered, throwing shadows on the wall.
Waverer.
Waverer.
A final push to win over the waverers. Wavy.
Wavy.
Wax.
Wax.
Wax crayons.
Journalists waxed lyrical about the band.
Interest in the show has waxed and waned.
Waxed paper.
Waxed paper.
Waxen.
Waxen.
His waxen face.
Waxen images. Waxwork.
Waxwork.
Waxy.
Waxy.
The waxy blossoms of the water lily.
Young men with waxy faces.
Way.
Way.
There are several different ways we can tackle this problem.
Evening classes are one way of meeting new people.
There's no way of knowing if the treatment will work.
What's the best way to learn a language?
Make the drink with boiling water in the same way as tea. Animals communicate in various ways.
I think you're going about this the wrong way.
There are ways and means of raising the money that we need.
One way around the problem is recycling.
There seems to be no way out of the current economic crisis.
Companies eager for a way into business in Europe.
Look at the way he's dressed.
Hello, he said in a friendly way. Maria got up and took a shower in a leisurely way.
I find it easier to work in this way. Sorry, I didn't know you felt that way.
The drugs didn't seem to affect Anna in the same way. That's no way to speak to your father. The changes will benefit the company in more ways than one.
I'm sure he does love you in his own way.
Which is the quickest way to the sea from here?
There are several ways through the woods.
Could you tell me the way to the station?
Does anyone know the way from here?
I was afraid of losing my way in the dark.
Can you find your way back to the car park?
Which is the way out? She looked all around, but she couldn't seem to find the way in.
Want a lift? It's on my way. I live miles out of your way.
Which way is north? Walk this way.
A big Mercedes was coming the other way.
He left the house, looking carefully both ways.
In one way, you're right, I suppose.
Working at home makes sense in many ways.
Ben is a perfectly normal child in every way.
He never got mad at me. He was great in that way.
This should in no way be seen as a defeat.
I was still a long way from home.
She had to park some way from the restaurant. A peace settlement now seems a long way off. I don't want to go all that way and not see him.
Did you really swim all the way across?
I was awake all through the night.
That's quite a ways from here, isn't it?
There was a big truck in the way.
Sorry, am I in your way?
A policeman yelled at the crowds to get out of the way.
The way ahead was blocked.
The crowd stepped aside to make way for the procession. Several houses were demolished to make way for a new road.
Why don't you tie your hair back out of the way? If Uncle Tom had been drinking, I kept out of his way. When Mac was safely out of the way, Peter came round.
I'd rather get the interview out of the way in the morning. As soon as the contract's out of the way, we can start.
There's a letter on its way to you.
More changes are on the way.
She should be on the way here by now.
The ships were already on their way to the Gulf. I ran out of gas on my way to the airport.
Guess who I bumped into on the way home?
Don's had to change jobs several times along the way.
Plans are well underway for a new shopping centre.
The tournament got underway on Friday.
Our train was already underway.
The team slowly made their way back to base.
Don't worry. I can make my own way to the beach. Young people who are making their way in industry.
She elbowed her way to the front of the queue.
He drank some water, then groped his way back to the bedroom.
Stone has given way to glass and concrete. My anger gave way to depression.
Despite growing pressure, the Minister of State refused to give way.
Maria seemed to despise him for giving way to her. The floor's rotten and likely to give way.
In Britain, give way to cars coming from the right.
A study that paved the way for further research.
The Queen's death opened the way for him to return. A way forward lies in developing more economic links.
This treatment may be the way forward for many inherited disorders.
My family was in a bad way financially.
The chicken's nice and crispy, just the way I like it. It's worth thinking how you can improve the way things are.
He'll always be mean. He was born that way. I hate the way you always give in to him.
Don't worry if she's quiet. That's just her way.
Esther quickly changed the subject, as was her way.
We all have our funny little ways.
The team has a long way to go before it can match that performance.
Microwave ovens have come a long way since they first appeared in our kitchens.
Jen is now well on the way to recovery.
Ideas that go some way towards reducing environmental problems.
I'm not sure which way he'll decide.
The election could go either way.
Make your mind up one way or the other.
Either way, it's going to be expensive.
Your answer must be within a centimetre either way.
One way or the other, he always seems to win.
We'll find the money one way or another.
Which way around does the skirt go?
The picture should be the other way up.
Art reflects life, or is it the other way around?
Are the batteries in the wrong way round?
I'd like to say something, by way of introduction. The town has little in the way of leisure facilities.
We went by way of London.
Your social life must not get in the way of your studies.
She went out of her way to make me feel welcome.
Don't let the children always get their own way.
At 18, most young people are ready to go their own way. The government are hopeful that the vote will go their way.
She said goodbye and went her way.
I can take you. I'm going your way.
Luck had come her way at the very last moment. The business was a success in a small way.
He was the best in the group by a long way.
Caroline managed to talk her way past the guard.
He worked his way through the pile of documents. She had munched her way through a packet of biscuits. Is the royal family on the way out?
They live across the way from us, at number 23. Cheer up, these problems have a way of working out.
He'd got into the way of smoking first thing in the morning.
I am not responsible for his actions in any way, shape, or form.
We'll split the cost between us 5 ways.
David seems to have a way with children.
She's always had a way with words.
In those days, these policies favoured men. That was the way of the world.
Bullets were flying every which way. I tried every which way to avoid it.
Church way.
By the way, have you seen my keys anywhere?
Can I borrow your car? No way. There's no way I'll ever get married again. She's 45. No way.
The way I see it, it was a fair trade.
Now bring your foot gently off the clutch. That's the way.
Don't try to fight it. That's just the way it is. Sometimes Tim needs to be alone. That's the way he is. I'm with you all the way on this salary issue, Joe.
If I had my way, we'd leave this place tomorrow.
It's a choice between the time and the money. You can't have it both ways.
The train was late. Always the way when you're in a hurry.
The other cyclists were way behind.
She lives way out of town.
Her IQ is way above average.
Your guess was way out. He's actually 38.
We first met way back in the 70s.
The tickets were way more expensive than I thought.
I think she's way cool, man.